we've essentially made 20 million in revenue across all our different companies. So we have quite a small core team that kind of essentially
The
starts.
company's called Deep Pockets?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
cool.
we've started like a bunch of different businesses.
So it's a holding company.
We have an umbrella company called Swaggy Inc., but then we just start different businesses that we essentially have been doing really well in.
Yes.
And I guess we have a really small.
And you guys have the logistics company that's pre-revenue right now that has 3 million in contracts that you just have to figure out, and then you have the other businesses doing 2.4, which is like the old folks help stuff. Correct? That's you. Oh, I thought she was part of your holding company because you said you brought a bunch of people. That's why I figured I'd clarify. Okay, different holding company. Okay, so you guys start companies.
Yeah.
And incubate them. Yes.
Yeah, right now Deep Pockets, this is our financial literacy program where we just sell educational content to traders and anyone who wants to like branch out for that for Forex.
Okay.
But we have a small core team, and what I was essentially asking, for any business other than the CEO and like the founder, what would be the 3 core members or roles that any business would need in order to succeed? Because right now we do have some employees that kind of are flexible in what their roles are, and they're looking at like just being a key asset to the team, but don't have an actual job description or name for that.
The first thing I'll do is I'll just kind of challenge the question, which is that it's not like, what are the 3 key people? So I could just be like, I'll reject the premise. It's more so, what are the functions? What things must occur in a business, and whether one person does them or 20 people do them, these things have to happen, right? At the most foundational level, you have to have someone who can promote, right? Someone who can advertise, let people know about the stuff, right? Now that also technically includes conversion. So that one person who goes and gets customers. The other person is the person who builds the thing, right? Who's the one who's ahead of product or the service, making sure that it continues to be exceptional. And then the third kind of function is who's running the day-to-day, who's operating, who's leading the team, who's continuing to basically build the culture, who's the one who's recruiting the people in, setting the standards for how the company runs. Now, there's the things that have to occur. One person can do all 3 of those things.
Yeah.
It's difficult, hard to find, easier to find 3 people. Sometimes you find 6 people who can do those things, and they have varying degrees. Like I can build product stuff, I can also advertise, and I can operate to a degree, right? Operations is not my strongest suit. That's where Layla is, a G, right? And she can also obviously advertise. She has multiple million followers that she has, and she also can do product stuff. But she probably, if I were to pick 2 of those 3 buckets, she's probably more advertising and ops, with ops being the primary. And so if you're asking the question of who do we need to hire for each of our portfolio companies, I would just say, where is the deficiency with each of those companies? And does that deficiency tie to the constraint of the business?
Okay.
So if you're demand constrained and no one in the company knows how to advertise, that makes sense. If you're demand constrained and you're not demand constrained and no one knows how to advertise, who cares? It's not the constraint today. So we still always start with, are we supply or demand constrained? And once we know which one we are, because you really can, for the most part, just be one of the 2, we basically ignore everything else on the other side. And until we have once we've cracked demand enough that we now have supply constraints, then we fix supply, and then we ignore demand. And basically, there's a cadence, kind of a rhythm to it of alternating between the 2. And so Layla and I joke, which is like, one of us is always killing ourselves. Never both of us at the same time. So it's like, I'm like, oh God. She's like, hey, we need to, fill up these calendars. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go drum my whatever and get these calendars filled. And then after that, I'm like, we good? Great. All right. And then I just hang out. And then she's like, oh my God, we need more people to deliver so we can expand the calendar availability. Right? And so it's gonna be normal that you alternate between those things.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
If you are a business owner and you are not growing as fast as you'd like, I'd like to give you a free gift. So my team and I put together the $100 million scaling roadmap, which is basically 200 hours of us looking over all the portfolio companies we've had and what stages of growth they went through, and more importantly, where they got stuck and how they got past it. And so we broke it into these 10 stages, and we made this little kind of quiz thing where if you put in your business information, it'll tell you where you're at, and the most important part for you, what to do for each of the functions of the business across product, marketing, sales, customer success, recruiting, IT, human resources, and finance. And so no matter what you're struggling with, someone else has already struggled with it and solved it. And so I'd like to give you this thing absolutely free. You can go to acquisition.com/roadmap, plug in your business information. And if you want us to actually help you deconstrain the business and you're trying to scale, we'd love to help you out. On the thank you page, you can just book a call with my team and we will look at the business, see if we can help. And if we can, we'll invite you out to Vegas and we'll do this in person live.